Okay, I'm finally watching Love Island Games. Disclaimer, I only started watching Love Island USA, I think the season that Timmy and Zita won. So please forgive me if I don't know some of these people. I am coming as an unbiased source. Obviously, some of them I will know them in later seasons, but the ones from previous seasons, I don't know them. I only know Justine because I saw her on the challenge and I watched a lot of the challenge. Anyway, so it's Love Island Games. I don't know. I don't understand the concept of it, really. I don't. So what is a dating show whereby you have to be immune from from voting. You have to win a game. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense. I think they realized that some of their participants were on the challenge and so wanted some of that challenge team to come to Love Island, because even Ian in his monologue said, we'll get our first winner for Love Island Games, and if ratings are okay, we might have another one. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't understand the concept. Anyway, I digress. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl, Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Games, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. Okay, so we start off. I don't even know. Some of the people have barely unpacked their bags like Imani, so I don't understand why they're already back. I do like a couple of the girls, so hopefully things will go my way with my favorites. So first up we have Justine and Sally. Apparently they were in the same season, so they were number 1 and number 2. Justine, I've seen her on the challenge where she's participated, I think in the challenge USA. I think she's been there twice, so that's where I know her from. And it's been more about competition, so I don't know her dating history and how she moves in her relationship. So that will be nice to see. Sally, apparently she says in her season she was very quiet, and so this time she intends to speak up for herself, and we'll see how they play up. So they are the first 2 islanders to arrive. So next up is Love Island UK. They're coming on a boat. It's cute. You have Liberty. She was in season 27 and apparently she left I think the week before elimination, for those that watched season 7. And you also have Jake, who's 27, and he was in season 4. I like the fact that they haven't brought an individual person from a specific country. It's only, I think, France and Sweden where they've only brought one person, and that's going to leave them sort of isolated in the sense that they have no one sort of who might understand their banter, sort of their way of life. And so it will be very difficult for them to adapt. But hey, it is what it is. Next up is Ray. He was part of the original Love Island USA, so season 1. He's quite cute and he comes across as quite bubbly and quite likable, so I really like him. But he seems to have a crush on Imani, and I think when he sees Imani, he's going to pass out because he doesn't understand why the guys in season 5 didn't like her. And it's like maybe she didn't like them, and the ones that she liked were in couples, and that's the reason why. But I liked Imani. I think I only didn't like her friend. I didn't like her friend and how her friend sort of went after Destiny when Imani was voted out. So Imani arrives. Now it makes sense for those that watched Love Island season 5. Now it makes sense to someone like me. The reason why Imani and Scott never coupled up, because Scott and Imani had a great connection, but it was always surprising that Imani decided to go for Zay, and it's like, make it make sense. The math ain't mathing. Even for Scott, for him to go for Jonay, it didn't make sense. And I think the producers didn't want them coupling up, because if they coupled up, then they wouldn't be able to bring them onto Love Island Games, because they would say they already know each other. So there's no way they can sort of work on their connection. So I have a feeling on Love Island Games, since they say Scott is going to be there, if Imani is still there, they're going to have a connection. Poor Ray is going to have a heartbreak because he can barely talk when Imani arrives. He can barely walk. He just keeps sipping on his wine and sipping on his wine, and it's like, oh my God, this young man is gone. He is smitten. He's in the rabbit hole. Toby comes across as very sweet. He's very sweet, so I really like him. He was in season 7 with Liberty, so he will have somebody he knows. And Curtis was in season 5, and he apparently was with Moira, and they then separated after they left the villa when they realized it wasn't working. So it's nice that they have people. And I remember when Ray walked in, he said, it's nice that you have people that understand your banter. That's the most important thing, because no matter how good your game is, if somebody doesn't understand your game, it doesn't make sense. So it will be interesting to see. I think Amani is going to break poor Ray's heart. His excitement at seeing her is too obvious, and I think that's going to put her off, that he's too eager. It's nice to see when the UK people arrive, the excitement. Liberty, obviously, they know her, so the girls are excited to see Liberty. Oh, and Toby, Celie is gone. Somebody save her. She is gone. She is gone down the rabbit hole. If she had a way, she would pounce him. She says she wants to squeeze his cheeks. She says she really likes him. She's really excited at seeing him. And it's like, girl, give it a minute. Fire out. And also, you have Imani. Curtis is gone. Curtis is gone because he really likes the look of Imani. Imani is stunning. You cannot take that away from her. She herself says she's dramatic, but you can't take away the fact that she's stunning. So that you have to give her credit for. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Toby copes with it, because Toby has made his intentions known when it comes to Imani. He's really smitten with Imani and really is all in. So I don't know how he's going to feel if somebody else goes after her. It's going to be interesting to watch. Next up is the Australians, and the little pocket rocket is here. I love Jessica. Jess, I love her. She's dramatic. If you combine Jess and Imani, I pity the boys. But I'm happy that they chose her to come and represent. So I really like her. She's one of my favorites from the girls so far. I completely forgot who Callum is. So Jess and Callum, I remember Jess. Callum apparently was on the same season, and I really don't remember him. I normally try and disengage as soon as the season ends, and so if you haven't made a good impression on me, I forget about you. So sadly, I've forgotten about him. But he comes across as a great guy. Apparently he's Welsh, but he's currently living in Australia, so he's repping both worlds. And so it will be interesting to see him. He says, he's got the physical, finesse, but mental wise he's screwed. And it's nice to see. So Jess asks for the girls to have a chat, which was amazing, I think, because they hadn't sat down together, and so they just wanted to get to know one another, and the girls were ecstatic about that. And the boys are sitting down and chatting, and they can barely remember the girls' names, and it's like, wow. But Toby is on point. He knows every single girl, and it's like, my God, be careful of this guy. And it's interesting that all the participants on Love Island, the majority, especially the UK boys, are semi-pro football player, and it's like, what are they doing? Are they going to their training camps and scouting them there, or what? Make it make sense. Lastly, it's Steph from France. He was in season 2. And you have Lisa from Sweden. Steph is cute. I don't know how I feel about his nose rings, but I think he's cute. I think he should have put studs. Maybe that would have been better. I don't like the idea of them flapping all over the place. But anyway, so he looks cute. Look out, girls. And also Lisa looks amazing as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who couples up with them. Toby's excited, because she said she played football, so that's his sport, and so he's excited for that, and we'll see how it's going to play out and who's going to win once Maya finishes talking and sort of asks them to couple up. So first up is Justine, because they have to play a game to sort of, apparently every winner in the games gets a reward for winning. So in order for them to couple up, the winner of the game is the one who gets to pick who they want to couple up with. It makes sense because I think there was no live voting for this, because this was recorded soon after Love Island USA. So she's paired up with Curtis. She didn't seem impressed. She didn't seem happy. He was a bit offended when she said, she had a lot of people she was looking at. Anyway, she did well, but she couldn't find one of the hearts, and that slowed her down. She seems as though she's very fit and active, so it will be interesting to see how, things stack up. Next up is Lisa. She gets Steph, and she didn't seem impressed with him, but he actually performed. I'm happy with how well he worked and how hard he worked. And everyone was shocked by Lisa, because I think they didn't expect her to be as good as she was. And so when she performed very well, even Justine said, I've got my eye on her. I am not surprised, because she said she is very competitive. So I wouldn't have been surprised if, she did very well. So we'll see how that plays out. Next up was Celie. Celie wants Toby. She wants everyone to know she wants Toby. So when she was asked who do you want, she said Toby. And sadly, she didn't pick Toby. She picked Jack. But oh my God, they were hysterical. They worked very well. They weren't great, but they did very well for what they did. So I think, she's going to have a lot to deal with. I think Jack would be better. I think Toby would be better off with Jess, but maybe that's just because I know Jess and I like Jess. Why with the universe? I wanted Toby for Jess, but anyway, Amani is next up and she picks Toby. They really worked well, as a team. Toby was using his teeth to burst the balls. And so I like them working together. Do I think they'll make a good couple? Not really. I don't think so. I don't think Toby's Amani's type. I think it's more Ryan or Jack that seems to be more her type because of the way she was with Scott. And so she did very well actually in the challenge. She really did very well. So I wasn't surprised. But poor Ray, his heart was breaking. Ray and Celie, their hearts were breaking because Celie wants Toby. Ray wants Amani. And you could see their hearts break when Amani and Toby were kissing. So I don't know. I really loved Liberty and Ray. I thought they were cute. I hope Liberty doesn't embarrass us like Lucinda is down under at the moment. But I thought they worked very well. They were very cute. And Ray seemed to want to make an impression or make Amani jealous because of the way he laid down and sort of had Liberty straddle him. She enjoyed the kiss. She said, he set the bar high. So I guess Amani has competition even though she doesn't know it. It was cute. I really liked it. I like people that work very well and people that are social in a social game. So they get back to the villa and then they get to pick who they want to couple up with. Obviously, the girls are the ones that are picking and they'll pick in the order of how well they did in the competition. So because Lisa picked completed all the challenges, including the hearts. She picks first because she was the fastest. And surprise, surprise, all the guys were looking forward to her. I think because she won and because of the way she looks and, she's got a banging body. So she picks Curtis. Am I surprised? Not really. I think he's more her height and he's sort of more her age mate. I think she would have gone for someone who's a bit more mature. So that was cute to see. Obviously, Maya Jama asked her, why did you pick Curtis? And she refused to say, because it's a competition. If she says he's more athletic than everybody else, then she's, one, going to offend the guys. Two, she's going to give the girls ammunition in which they're going to all be going after Curtis. So I give her credit for not saying why she chose Curtis. That was good. So Amani picks Ray. Am I surprised? Yes, I am. I know Ray really wanted Amani, but Amani picking Ray... It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It's just like her choice in both Zay and what was the other guy? Oh my God, I've forgotten his name. Didn't make sense during her season in Casa. So I'm a bit surprised. Or maybe she wanted to get, Ray out of the way first before, things get heavy. That way she can see whether there's anything there or not. And Ray's got a crush. So he's ecstatic. He's over the moon. But Amani's body language is saying otherwise, so I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. It's the Proud Sisters, though, in the background for me. It's Justine and Celie, their excitement at seeing how excited Ray is that, he's coupled up with Amani. Next up is Justine. Was I surprised with her choice? I think all the guys were ecstatic at seeing her. I don't know whether it was a crush because they've seen her on TV before or whether her performance, but she picks Jack and I think they make a cute couple with Jack. And he is happy. He says, he liked the fact that she went first and she didn't let that sort of deter her or stop her from competing and she did her best. So he's happy. Justine just talked about his looks and the fact that he's got a very good sense of humor. I think the girls are trying to sort of keep their cards close to their chest in regards why they're picking particular boys, because they don't want to offend, one, the rest of the guys, and two, they don't want to give the girls something to work with, so something to look out for and maybe pick their guy in the next recoupling. Someone in the universe is looking out for Sally because Sally has been cheesing on Toby from the moment he walked into the villa. So the fact that he wasn't chosen by the first three girls and he was still there, even Maya Jama knew who she wanted and she was excited. Toby seemed a bit like he wasn't interested at her picking him, and it's like, why? Jess, my poor thing, what really wanted Toby. You could see the disappointment on her face, but I hope she gets a chance to steal him. I have to give Liberty a lot of credit because the only two guys left were Callum and Steph, and she knew from what Jess said that Jess and Callum had tried it, but it hadn't worked out, and so she knew that Jess, I think, was going to be heartbroken if she was left with Callum. So the fact that she went for Callum herself, I think it's one because they have the same sort of banter because he's from the UK, although he lives in Australia, so he's got the best of both worlds, and I think she wanted to be a good friend to Jess, and I think she really was looking out for Jess, and Jess was ecstatic to get Steph. She really wanted Toby, but I think she was happy to have Steph because she said he was in her top 3, and so we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, Maya Jama says, how you do well in your couples determines what happens. Do I think any of them are entertaining at the moment? I think they all don't seem toxic at the moment. Jess is fiery. Jess will tell you as is, and she won't hold anything back, so I can't wait for that. So Steph has to, mind his P's and his Q's, and he needs to be on his best behavior, otherwise she's going to call him out. But I think the girls are going to get along. The guys seem to be getting along as well. So it will be interesting to see how, people continue to navigate the game. It's interesting watching how the couples communicate once Maya's left. And for me, I think Lisa and Curtis actually have a shot because they seem to be sort of on the same wavelength. They seem to have, the same values and same goals. They both want children. They both want the same-sex children. They're both, very motivated and very hardworking people. So I can see them working. The only problem would be the distance if they were to leave the show as a couple, but we'll see how it plays out. Amani is having a conversation with Ray. Ray is just fangirling. He's like a groupie. He's so ecstatic to be there. And so he's speaking to Amani, and sort of Amani wants to know what the game plan is. Are they always going to dominate, or do they want to lay low so that they don't, become targets? And he sort of says, we need to always win, because if we don't, then we could go home. And so I think if they stay in a couple, it's going to be because it's strategic and it works out for them. I don't think they'll romantically, I don't think Amani is there. Ray is there. I don't think Amani is there. I think if someone like Scott or someone else comes in, Amani has got the possibility to have her head turned, because I don't see it here at the moment. At times when you're bilingual, it's a problem. It is a problem. Anyway, so you have Jess and Steph having a conversation and sort of trying to sort of see where they stand, because they were the last people, to pick and be picked. And so they want to see whether they're an ideal match. And Jess is sort of saying, you're in my top 3. And Steph is saying, just say that I was your first choice. And she, I think, trying to be nice, said he was her first choice. And so he then said, no, you were my second, because Lisa was my first. And I think what he was trying to say to her was, I really like you as a person. I really like how you look as a person. But my only problem is, because this is Love Island Games, I want to be on a team where we have a better chance of winning. And this is why I was going to pick Lisa, because she seems more physically fit and she seems more athletic than you do, given, what happened in the first challenge. But anyway, I still like you as a person, and I still hope, we can pull it out of the bag and actually win. So while the boys and girls are getting ready, you have, Ray sort of implying that he's already wifed up with their money, and the guys are laughing at him. And you also have Jess trying to warn Liberty that you need to be careful with Callum, because Callum is unpredictable. He's very spontaneous. So hopefully Liberty takes it for what it is, and she doesn't think that Jess is being petty. You have, once the couples have had their toast, you have Celie having a conversation with Toby and how excited she is that she got him. Obviously, Toby asked her, what would you have done if somebody else chose me? And I don't think she had a plan B. I think her plan was always to get Toby, so she hadn't thought of a plan B. And I don't know. You have Justine saying she chose Jack just to be strategic, but she gets on well with Curtis, and it's like, make it make sense. Why didn't you pick Curtis then? Why would you pick someone, are you more focused on the game aspect of it and not the romantic side? I don't know. We'll see how they play out. I thought she had great chemistry with Jack, but she knows what she's looking for in a guy. And then you have Callum speaking to Liberty, and poor Liberty. This is showing her that if it's a mental challenge, she will have to be the brains of the machine, otherwise they're going home. And Callum knows himself, so he's quick to own up to say, I know that, I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, and you are smarter, way smarter than I am. And so I think I remember him from his season, but I'm really struggling to remember him. I'm really struggling. I try not to remember people once their show ends, unless I really like them and I follow them on Instagram. So you have Megan and Curtis come in as the bombshells. And for me, I don't know how I feel about who she kissed. I think she was... Because she picked Callum, and Callum, we all know Callum will go for any shiny object. He's like a dog that sees a flashing light and just chases after anything that it points to. And so I'm not surprised she kissed him. But then how could she kiss Steph? Poor Jess has had a terrible day. She doesn't deserve, to have her guy stolen, and she was like, oh my god, why me? So I don't know, we'll see how that plays out. And Johnny was saying Celie is his ex and he doesn't know how he'll behave if he sees her, and yet the audacity, he kissed Amani, he rocked her boots. She was shaken. She was shooketh to the soul. She didn't know what to do with herself. All her lipstick was gone, all her talk, she's a lot of talk, but she was swept off her feet. And then she also kissed Celie, and it's like, even Maya Jama was shocked that how are you kissing your ex, someone you say you've moved on from? What does that mean? Make it make sense. I think he just did it for the drama. And that's all. But anyway, it was an interesting first episode. I really enjoyed that. I was going to combine them as two, but I think I'll do them individually and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 2. Bye guys.